start with you briefly on what you know about the facts regarding this brouhaha. And good news, though, is that they seem to be getting to yes, not no.
You know his new nickname, Mr. No.
No.
No, okay, I see.
And I proudly like to wear that with Kwame Sefakai.
That's right.
Yeah. He told the Speaker of Parliament on Friday that it has to be a no.
That's right.
But let's. So I was saying that it looks like there's some glimmer of hope that now they want to go to this forum and then resolve issues and get back to business. But on the both sides, what are the facts as you know them, and do they justify the intervention of national security? And when you are done, Bobby can also look at that for us because of his background as a lawyer.
See, this whole thing was very untidy, avoidable. It lacked finesse. Needless negative publicity that is detrimental to the reputation of the company, Softtribe, the image of national security, and to some limited extent, the Ghana Water Company. You're telling us that there's a solution in the pipeline Monday.
Yes.
So they've struck a certain compromise. If they had all been sober, they had all been dispassionate, we would not be sitting here discussing this matter. They would have settled their issues on the quiet. Because even if it was a contractual dispute, I'm sure the contract that is signed on to will have provisions that show how to deal with the issue. I'm not aware if they exhausted all those things and then decided that let's go to town and make noise and counter noise. It's not right. See, national security architecture in recent times has come onto the front burner, sometimes for wrong reasons. If you cite the Ayawaso West Wagon incident and the proceedings of the Short Commission and the indication that there could be a certain disharmony relative to chain of command and all what has happened subsequent to that, does not need such incidents. They have to be, in a position to clean up some of the doubts and the discrepancies.
And this small bit that you mentioned, though important, you heard General Hesse suggest that they had made an attempt, or was the Bolton, one of the guys in the Softtribe, who said that they had, David Bolton, that they had made contact with the minister and discovered that nobody had given any such instructions for what was supposed to happen to have happened, even though a person who was supposed to be leading and threatening them had been mentioning Brian Champon. And they discovered, after meeting with Brian Champon also, that the guy was setting the two of them up because he was unaware or something like that.
Well, I will not talk to specifics in terms of names, for good reason.
Okay.
But you see, the National Security Council Secretariat has a technical wing that is known as the National Bureau of Communications.
Right.
They've had some relationship with the company, Softtribe. And there's some understanding between the two sides because of the kind of job they all do.
And that's the team that did this operation?
Yes. But it is because of the kind of relationship they had or have that is why I thought this was needless.
Okay.
Straightforward. There was a rapport. There was a chain of line of communication. Everything was done. Somebody somewhere within national security architecture might have gotten too over-enthusiastic and pulled the trigger, quote unquote. And that is what my worry is about. And I'm being very frank with you. You've mentioned names. It's for good reasons. I'm not going to mention names. I usually time what I say, when and where and how. But I think it's about time the president takes a look at the structure, in a way implicitly recommended by the Short Commission, in terms of the chain of command. Who does what, when, and where, and indeed how.
Did you say implicitly recommended by the Short Commission, or
I think it was explicitly
recommended by the Short Commission?
Okay. It was. I have, not that I agree with them in totality,
right,
in terms of the entire structure, no. I also have a little background. I'm a student of intelligence, not a professional anyway.
Okay.
But not that, but there was some element of validity, truth, in the observation, and for that matter, the recommendation that was made. And sitting somewhere under quiet and observing, it had merit. And I think this particular case, whilst I'm not going to go into details, I'm telling you this particular case is a reflection of that matter. You mentioned names. One day will come, we'll sit here and perhaps we'll put all the names out there. But I'm not too sure what you did, which appears to be cleaning up everybody there. If nobody did something, then who did what? I disagree. But as I'm saying, I assume it was a business gone wrong. The contract should have provided the avenue for them to tackle the issue. And
Chenrihese says that we are willing and we are ready. If you don't want the contract to continue anymore, we have 50%, you are also 50%, stakeholders. All you need is buy us out. Well, name your price and let's sit down.
Yes. You said that's a company that's a reputation that goes beyond the Ghanaian boundaries. I don't know them. I'm being honest with you, I don't know them. I know about them.
Right.
But I have no relationship with any of them or even with a company. But I've done some little checks in the last 2-3 days to realize that they go beyond Ghana, even Nigeria and the rest. So they have a reputation. And some of these things can affect their integrity and credibility.
When they started to make the giant steps, I remember long ago, it was Komla Dumont who introduced them to me, sort of, through the morning show.
Yes, so to be honest with you, I think that I'm even angry that we are being told that Monday they will be settling the issue. I'm angry. Oh. Because the
solution we should be looking for. So why are you angry that the basis for the
solution was already there. And they decided to go to town and mess up. And I would not blame the company for going to town if it did. They were provoked. They were pushed into a corner. And they came out talking. I heard the water company also talking.
Yeah.
I wasn't too convinced about what was being said from their anger. My problem is with national security.
But Brahima Clifford, the MD for Ghana Water, enumerated some problems that they have had over a period, even though the company says that this is like 0.1%,
those are part of the business thing that could be resolved looking at the business format you have. That's the point I'm making. Whatever those issues are, if the contract that they put in place was incapable of dealing with it, then I don't know what kind of contract they signed. The courts are there, arbitration, and all those things are there, available.
There's this other aspect. Do you think that also ought to be giving some serious attention? Because while Ghana Water is saying that there have been issues which we do not like, and that's why we are not happy about what is going on, and we saw that they were not allowing us to update our process, that's why we felt, data that is in the national interest was being protected. The company, Softtribe, is talking about one individual who was sort of the go-between, who was demanding money, and they had issues with that. That sounds clear criminal conduct.
That was the last point I had made, and I was coming to that.
Okay.
After that, I'm not sure I'll make any comment. That I demand of Softtribe,
Softtribe,
a full disclosure. Whether it was out of provocation or anger or whatever, they put it out there. Once you've put it out there, it's registered. in the public domain. Their compromise or their resolution on Monday would not exclude the demand for full disclosure as to who was engaged in this alleged extortion. So these two, they now have a certain line of responsibility. Perhaps next time you'll be sure what to say, how to say it, when to say it. But whatever it is out there. So we demand a full disclosure.
Mr. Hesse was very hedgy about that.
Then he shouldn't have spoken about it.
And what should be the purpose of the disclosure?
You just said criminal. You just alluded to something criminal. And what do we do to something criminal? We investigate. And beyond investigation, if there's prima facie, as you lawyers say, then we proceed to the appropriate forum to cure the mischief.
Okay.
Okay? That is important. Now let me make one last point, and I'm sure perhaps it has no legal foundation, what I'm going to say. But I feel that sometimes we should clean our Governance Act. This thing of going to court, ex parte, and collecting court orders, and then going out to enforce it. I think that relative to demonstration, the Public Order Act, the police conduct, it came up, so it became almost a subculture.
Right.
And I believe the courts even have cautioned the police that this ex parte route is not the best of things.
They have not only cautioned. When the Let My Vote Count Alliance went to the courts, the Justice Dennis Ajay, presiding as a Court of Appeal judge sitting in the High Court, gave a ruling that is now what they have to abide by.
Interesting.
They used to go to the lower courts, and they went there to take an ex parte, meaning they go on the blind side of the demonstrators or the organizers. And his ruling now is that, which is now sort of the law.
Binding now.
Yes, because that's higher up, above the lower courts.
Sure.
Is that first, you don't go to those lower courts. And second, you must come notifying the demonstrators or their organizers before you come. So that when you come to argue that they shouldn't demonstrate and you give all your reasons, they can also canvass their reasons why they should be allowed to demonstrate.
Yes, I would be grateful.
I think that's what has made it a bit difficult for them.
You give me a copy of that.
I will.
Please do.
I will.
But I hope, that's why I'm not sure if it has a legal foundation, that it could be replicated across and should have affected the Security Council.
I think maybe Bobby shall explain, but for security reasons, when there's a suspicion of a crime, the law gives power to the security agencies or police to go to the court. Once you are of the rank of a constable, go to the court and get an order to do something.
I'm better educated and better informed, but I really wish we clean up our Governance Act and let some equity inform some of these things we do. Bottom line, what happened was untidy, avoidable, lacks finesse, and negative publicity for all the parties involved, particularly the company and the national security outfit.
Okay.